You know, when it comes to Nintendo Switch ports, I think the games that take the most advantage of the Switch's portability would have to be those pick up and play games, or JRPGs. With that being said, I nominate the one and only Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness as my second most wanted Nintendo Switch port. The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker is still number one for me. Hey guys, it's Rob here, and welcome back to the Robo-chan Show, where we cover the latest gaming news, leaks, and rumors from Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo in 2020 and beyond. If you want to be kept up on the latest gaming news, make sure you click that red subscribe button below this video and that notification bell so you know when I upload. And if you're interested, I have a Patreon, which link to that will be in the pinned comment along with my Twitter account. In this video, we are going to go over my personal top 10 Nintendo games that I would like to see ported to the Nintendo Switch. These top 10 Nintendo Switch ports are just my personal list, so if yours are different in any way, make sure you tell me in the comment section below. Who knows, maybe I'll make a part 2 to this video and it will be the most frequent ones that appear in the comment section. And by the way, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, it helps the video reach more viewers when you do, and if you want to follow me on Twitter and help me reach my goal of 600 followers, which we are 3 away, you can follow me at Roborob93. Without further delay, let's get to the video. So at number 1, you guys know it was going to be here. I've said it many times in my videos, The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. I want this game on the Nintendo Switch, specifically The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD. A port of this game would be amazing. The game has held up incredibly well for a game that was released nearly 20 years ago. It features an amazing art style that's cel-shaded, and it still holds up to this day. It also gave us one of my favorite versions of Link, which is Toon Link. If you guys remember, the art style of Wind Waker was one of the negatives for the game when it was released. I always thought that was really weird and crazy, and I thought the art style was amazing back then, and it still is till this day. Fingers crossed this game gets on the Nintendo Switch someday. And at number 2, we have Pokemon Colosseum. It was kind of hard to decide whether I was going to pick Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness or Pokemon Colosseum. Both are fantastic Pokemon games in their own right, but I chose Pokemon Colosseum. And if I'm being honest, I like the design of the character in Pokemon Colosseum compared to the Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness character that you play as. Which, speaking of Pokemon Colosseum, did anybody get Pokemon Colosseum vibes while watching the first trailer for Splatoon 3? That desert level gave off similar vibes as the desert level in Pokemon Colosseum. I don't know, it could just be me, but it's something I noticed. Now, Pokemon Colosseum and Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness had you purifying Pokemon. You had the sidekick, which was Espeon, and if I recall, there was an Umbreon too as well. I could be wrong on that though. Okay, so I just looked a bit into it, and yeah, there was an Umbreon, so my memory was right. Now, if we ever do get a port of Pokemon Colosseum, I would also like to have XD Gale of Darkness on there as well, or even have it in a double pack. Not only that, but I love the art style that they gave it in the overworld and the character designs that they came up with. I mean, who remembers that big Afro Pokeball guy? I love the world they built in this game, and I've always thought that it would be amazing to see an upscaled version on the Nintendo Switch. Add in the portability of the Nintendo Switch, and you have a fantastic combo. And at number 3, we have Beautiful Joe. This was an amazing game. For those who have never played Beautiful Joe or saw the TV show, I'm pretty sure there was a TV show. Let me check that real quick, actually. Okay, yeah, there is a Beautiful Joe TV show. It was from 2004 to 2005. I knew there was a show. But anyways, for those who haven't played this game, you are missing out because this is a fantastic game. In Beautiful Joe, you play as Joe, a movie-loving guy who needs to rescue his girlfriend who got captured and transported into the world of movies. Joe gains the ability of a superhero called Captain Blue and utilizes his special abilities such as slowing down time or speeding up time to rescue his girlfriend. Using these abilities, you can daze the enemy by dodging their attacks by slowing them down or speeding them up. Sometimes you would have to slow down enemies to even hit them or speed them up to hit them as well. And this was all backed up to an amazing art style and presentation. And I can guarantee this would look amazing on the Nintendo Switch, especially with the new Nintendo Switch having an OLED screen. Moving on to number 4, we have the Metroid Prime Trilogy. This game is one of those games that has been rumored forever. The Metroid Prime Trilogy contains all 3 Metroid Prime games and is something that has been asked by many players for many years. Much like the 2D Metroid Prime rumor that was rumored for a very long time, this has also been rumored for a very long time and could be sharing the same fate as the Metroid Dread game, which if it is true, we could end up seeing it being released at a time when Nintendo has a spot for it when there aren't many games releasing. Though if I'm being honest, I'd like to see Wind Waker first and then we can get to Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3. But you know, that's just my thoughts. And next up, moving a bit away from the GameCube and turning our eyes to the Nintendo 3DS, 3DS, we have Kid Icarus Uprising. So Kid Icarus Uprising was an on-rail shooter that utilized the touchpad of the 3DS and was a very fun game if you could get around the awkward controls that sometimes can bother your gameplay if you play too long. But I remember having a lot of fun on this game, and it was my first game that exposed me to the world of Kid Icarus. Before then, I've never played any of the Kid Icarus games. Well, there's only two. There's one on the Nintendo and there's one on the Game Boy. Now, according to Sakurai, it is unfortunately impossible to port this to the Nintendo Switch according to him, but it's my hope that they somehow found a workaround and are able to port it to the Nintendo Switch, or even make a sequel on Nintendo Switch built around that hardware. And next up, I think a Conans Bad Fur port would be great. Now, this is one that has a similar situation to Cuphead, to where Nintendo and Microsoft would have to come to some agreement. At least I think that's what they would have to do, because Microsoft does own Rare. But anyways, Conans Bad Fur is a classic game on the Nintendo 64. It was rated M for mature, yes, but I still played it plenty of times and have plenty of memories like the Matrix part, or characters like the teddy bears, which, speaking of those, the multiplayer was glorious. Who remembers the multiplayer of Conans Bad Fur? It was fantastic. I used to spend countless hours with friends playing multiplayer, and it was incredibly fun. Looking back on the game now and how easy it is to set up multiplayer on the Nintendo Switch, I think a port would do wonders, especially for the multiplayer. And next up is another game that they would have to work out some sort of deal, but I would like to see Perfect Dark on the Nintendo Switch as well. The original Perfect Dark, not the Xbox 360 one. I don't even want to think about that. This is one of those games that has another fantastic multiplayer and would be perfect for the Nintendo Switch. One of my specific memories I have is the gun that can shoot through walls. If you guys remember, there was a very overpowered gun that could shoot through walls and see through walls at the same time, and it was a sniper rifle. You always see this gun on the most overpowered weapons in multiplayer games, and for good reason. Now, there is a new Perfect Dark coming to the Xbox Series X and PC, so what better way to introduce fans to this series, or not fans, but new fans to this series, is a port to the Switch and a release on the Xbox and PC platforms. Even have crossplay so that there will be a lot of people for multiplayer as well. And next up is a game that I think a lot of people have just forgotten about or just don't remember, and that's Star Fox Adventures. If you remember this game, make sure you tell me in the comment section below. So usually with Star Fox games, you have your usual spaceship shooting game, right? That's the usual formula. You're in a spaceship and you're shooting. I mean, that's an oversimplified version of the explanation of a usual Star Fox game, but you guys get my point. But with Star Fox Adventures, it gave you a unique experience that you didn't get with the other Star Fox games. Instead of flying in a ship, it was more action-based with you playing as Fox. It was a very different experience because usually you don't play as Star Fox himself, you usually play as his ship. So as a kid, I remember being amazed and kind of interested in fighting, playing, and moving around as Star Fox himself. Unless you're playing Super Smash Bros, which is a completely different situation. And next up, I would want a port of a small, tiny little RPG game that you may or may not have heard of. It released on the GameCube, and not many people have played it. It's called Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. Just a small game. This for me was the last time Paper Mario was enjoyable. Paper Mario and the Origami King, get that out of there. I hated it, honestly. Paper Mario and Sticker Star, nope, not that. Get that out of here too. Super Paper Mario, you can stay. It was a pretty fun game for me. But the rest, just leave. Get out of here. Now, don't get me wrong, Paper Mario and the Origami King was interesting, but it stripped a lot of the RPG mechanics away from Paper Mario, and for me, that's what made Paper Mario fun for me. I mean, other than the characters and the story and all that, but you guys know what I mean. One of the things I hated most about Paper Mario and the Origami King was that you didn't get stronger as you played through the game and as you gain experience. And when I say experience, you don't really gain experience, you really just gain coins and confetti. And then you add that weird combat on top of it, and it just fell off for me. So why not bring back the Thousand Year Door? Or heck, Paper Mario 64 as well, because that game was really good as well. Oh, you know what would be even better? Scratch Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door, well, kind of. Let's do a 3-pack. Paper Mario 64, Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door, and Super Paper Mario. Slap a $40 or $60 price on that and you have my money. And last but not least, let's get Kirby Air Ride on the Nintendo Switch, because why not? I think this was one of these smaller Kirby games that people kind of skipped or forgot about, but it was pretty fun back in the day. Whenever I think about memories from this game though, I don't remember myself playing with any friends or anything. It's usually just me playing by myself, which is kind of weird. But anyways, these were just some of my games that I would like to see on the Nintendo Switch. There are a lot more. They're on the GameCube, SNES, Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy, and more. But these were just some of them. With that being said, guys, make sure you tell me your list down in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Thanks for watching, guys, and remember, stay safe, stay charged, and have a good one.